You can draft a sharp, analytical business strategy and still watch your company fail at the ground level of execution. The board agrees on how to win the market, but the front line often lacks the specific operational map to get there. The entire mechanism jams. We can map this failure through three primary nodes: marketing, operations, and finance. When an organization lacks a unified functional framework, these isolated departments optimize for their own local goals. This is the silo effect. The collapse begins when sales identifies a massive, customized rush order. They secure the deal to hit their monthly commission targets, immediately passing the demanding requirements to the factory floor. Operations must then halt efficient mass production lines to accommodate the sudden custom job. Equipment downtime spikes, and overall equipment effectiveness, or OEE, plummets. To hit the rush deadline, the plant manager mandates expensive weekend overtime. The fallout reaches the final node. Finance absorbs the high costs of rush shipping specialized materials and paying overtime. Compounding the damage, sales offered the client 90-day credit terms to win the deal. The system experiences a massive drain on cash flow. Every department executed their specific job. Sales closed the client, operations shipped the product, and finance managed the books. But achieving those local targets is mathematically useless if the resulting actions create cascading negative effects that destroy the overall corporate margin. This catastrophic failure is rarely just a personnel issue. It is a fundamental mechanical failure of internal organizational alignment. To fix this, we have to establish a strict hierarchy. This pyramid places business strategy, the overarching thesis of how to win, at the apex. It then forces strict downward constraints onto the daily operational rules of the three foundational pillars. This is your functional strategy. Under this structure, marketing's role is stripped of the mandate to sell to everyone. Instead, they must translate the corporate value proposition into targeted customer acquisition, adhering to strict parameters for pricing, channel selection, and relationship management. Operations becomes the physical manifestation of that value. They control quality, eliminate waste within defined lean limits, and manage capacity to meet the exact promises made by sales. Finally, finance sheds the passive role of bookkeeping. They become the strategic allocator of resources, deploying working capital and evaluating capital expenditure returns to physically fuel the other two pillars. True organizational alignment requires rewriting localized tactical execution. Resource allocation, pricing models, and daily workflows must be restructured to blindly serve the singular business strategy at the top of the pyramid. To see how a shift in high-level strategy rewrites the physics of a company, we can apply this framework to a real-world case. Consider a mid-sized B2B office furniture manufacturer supplying workstations for large corporate projects and condominium developments. After analyzing the market, the CEO abandons the price war. The new business strategy will compete strictly on two metrics: design differentiation and speed. The market promise is specific. They will customize furniture to exact architectural floor plans and deliver the final product 2 weeks faster than cheap overseas imports. The execution question now becomes, how must the three isolated departments rewrite their daily behaviors to make this promise a physical reality? Planting the strategic flag is only step one. If the departments don't undergo functional restructuring, the promise of custom fit and speed will trigger the same siloed collapse we mapped earlier. We begin with marketing and sales. Their old tactic of pitching bulk discounts to price-sensitive procurement officers is now an active violation of the strategy. The target audience must pivot. Sales directs attention to interior designers prioritizing exact custom specifications over raw cost. To fulfill the mandate of speed, reps use on-site 3D design software right in the client's office. Locking the design specifications at the client's site eliminates weeks of back-and-forth email revisions. This creates the speed required to beat the lead times of imported goods. Sales has transitioned to engineering lead time reduction at the point of sale. Next, we address the operational bottleneck. Traditional mass production lines cannot handle high-variation custom orders quickly. Operations must physically restructure the factory floor around modular design. The system separates what is standard from what is variable. The mechanics rely on pre-manufacturing and stocking standard base components, like table legs and structural brackets. When an order arrives, only the desktop surfaces need to be custom cut to match the client's floor plan. This requires a physical layout change. The plant installs line-side supermarkets, miniature inventories of raw materials positioned right next to the assembly stations. Placing materials directly beside the workers eliminates the motion waste of walking across the warehouse. Trimming these micro-inefficiencies shaves hours off the final assembly time. Operations created a flexible manufacturing system that absorbs the chaos of custom orders without sacrificing velocity. This final rewiring positions finance as a primary catalyst for the new strategy, rather than a cost-cutting gatekeeper. Finance must approve specific capital expenditure. They deploy funds to purchase automated CNC machines capable of reading exact 3D files generated by the sales team. They must also execute a pricing overhaul. The traditional cost-plus model leaves money on the table. Finance introduces value-based pricing, instituting a mandatory 20% premium charge for rapid delivery. This 20% premium directly funds localized inefficiencies of rapid custom manufacturing while protecting organizational cash flow. The business strategy is physically achieved only when marketing software feeds operations modularity, funded by Finance's new pricing model. You can audit your internal functional alignment before a systemic failure occurs. Use the Shindanshi lens to scan for specific points of friction. First, assess if marketing writes checks operations can't cash, like promising durability while the factory uses low-grade components. Second, audit operations to ensure cost-cutting isn't destroying customer value. Third, evaluate if finance acts as a bottleneck starving innovation, rather than intelligently allocating resources. Fourth, search the organization for conflicting KPIs. If procurement is rewarded for buying raw materials in massive bulk, while warehousing is penalized for carrying high inventory, those departments will fight indefinitely. Fifth, verify reality. Ensure any newly drafted departmental action plan has actual capital and human resources attached to it. A plan without assigned resources is a hallucination. Discovering even one of these conflicts indicates a critical failure in your functional strategy layer. It requires an immediate, forceful executive intervention. The strategic hierarchy operates exactly like a symphony orchestra. Corporate strategy is the grand sheet music deciding what symphony the organization plays. Business strategy is the selection of world-class instruments required to execute that specific piece. Functional strategy is the precise, disciplined timing of the musicians themselves, knowing exactly when to play and when to stay silent to support the whole. Without a rigorous functional strategy, you do not have a company. You merely have a collection of competing departments slowly sabotaging each other. Align the functions and execution becomes inevitable.